Hey folks, this is Principal Bob, the electric principal, and I'm out in some godforsaken weather. It's -2, snowing like crazy. The roads are covered, icy. And I just took my Ionic 5 to work. And I gotta tell you what, this 4,500 pound car is a beast in the snow. It is really good, even without snow tires. It's terrific. And no slipping, no sliding, no drama. I like drama-free drives to work, all right? But tomorrow it's gonna be 17 below. So I thought what I would do today is to show you kind of how to set up your car so that every day, no matter what the weather is like, you come out to your car in the morning, even if it's outside, in 17 below degree weather, and the car is warm and it's ready to go, and you've got the car set up for the day, and really how to make it work really well in cold weather, and how to make your drive comfortable and use the minimal amount of energy that you can do that. And now if you take a quick look at my main screen right now, it is 2 below. You can see that. And you're also going to notice the temperature differences when the heater would be off or on. I can simply plug into this, right? And it's going to give me all kinds of data that, is good for winter driving and good to know. First of all, notice my heat's on because it's -2, right? So if the heat was off, I'd have 146 miles of range, which would be pretty good. But even at 64% now, I'm down to 114 because I got the heat blasting, and I'm a guy who likes to be comfortable. I don't want to suffer. That's the main thing. I like to be comfortable. That's one of the reasons I drive an electric car, right? So I'm going to use a little more power because I'm going to be comfortable, and I'm not taking off to Tibet tomorrow. It's going to be a drive that's about 6 or 7 miles to work. That's it. And so the main thing I want you to notice on this is how do I set it up so that the car is ready to charge and it's warm? Now, you could do this from your app. I mean, I'm showing you how simple that is, right? I could push a button in the house and I would be warming the car up. But what I want to do is calculate for the next week or two. I leave for work every day at 7:15. And I have to remember to start my car up every morning. Well, there's a simpler way to do this. If you're the kind of person that gets up early or you got to go to work at a certain time, let's set the car up to do that work for you so you don't even have to think about it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put next departure down. And you've got the ability to change this up, right? So what I can do here is I can set a departure time, clicking on that at 7. Right now I've got it at 7:20 will be fine. a.m. and I want this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And tomorrow I'm actually going to be up earlier. I may have to make a subtle adjustment to that because we're going to shoot the video on what this car looks like in the morning after it's all set up to go. But I'm going to click OK. So it's 7:20 in the morning. We're going to have this car ready to go. And that's what we need to do, right? So if we go back a step, right, now we see the charging schedule and climate control is off. Right now, you see a choice that right now the climate is set to be at 73 degrees. I'm gonna turn this on, but I'm going to be set to go tomorrow. So scheduled charging is on. Next departure is January 16th at 7:20 a.m. and it's supposed to be 17 below. So the next thing I want you to notice too is that right now I've got charging only doing off-peak 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. because in between that time, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., Fort Collins charges me 5 times as much for the energy. It's 8 cents a kilowatt off-peak, but man, it gets a lot more expensive when you're on peak. So I've got that set because I don't want to come out to the car tonight and plug it in after 9 p.m. I don't want to do that. I want this car ready to go. And I'm going to leave the car outside tomorrow just to see how things work. It's going to be an outside adventure tomorrow. But that's how this works now. I'm all set up now for my scheduled charging. We're ready to go, which is great. Now let's take a look at climate control here. Just a minute here. We're going to take a couple seconds to look at this. You know, on a day like tomorrow, this is how I would set up my car. I'm going to be by myself, right? So I'm going to make sure that driver only is selected tomorrow before I pull out, right? Tomorrow, I'm also going to make sure that the temperature in the car, I'm going to set it at about 67 once I start rolling because, hey, this is why, right? I'm going to turn on my heated seats to full blast and my steering wheel tomorrow. And I do that because obviously it keeps me warmer and I don't have to have the ambient temperature in the car so warm. I can keep that down and use less energy. Now, let me clue you, tomorrow at 17 below, I know that the IONIQ 5 and 6 come with a heat pump. It won't matter at 17 below. It's not going to do a whole lot. The real sweet spot with that is in the 20s, 30s, 40s. Heat pump is great, saves you later. But when it gets that cold, to be honest, there's not that much energy to extract from the outside or from the devices in the car. And this battery will be stone cold tomorrow. All right. So that's how I'm going to set up to drive tomorrow. And then the other thing we're going to do is make sure that we are in snow mode tomorrow. And of course, this is what snow mode looks like. You know, I hit the button for a few seconds because when I'm driving in weather like today, it was -2, there was blowing snow. You know, I don't want an eco. I don't want just the rear motor doing all the work because the car's going to fishtail. You know, anytime you're in a rear-wheel drive is not good in the snow. Most people in Colorado or Wisconsin will never buy just a rear-wheel drive car. A front-wheel drive you can get by with because you put snow tires on it, your thumbs up, right? And you'll notice today that I am celebrating a slight football game victory yesterday over the Dallas Cowboys. I almost feel sorry for Jerry Jones. But anyway, you're going to find out that you need to be in snow mode. And it's really a good car in snow mode. I mean, the car weighs 4,500 pounds. It weighs almost as much as a Ford F-150 pickup. Put it in all-wheel drive, and I haven't had the car that long, so it won't be long before I decide to hook up a really, really nice set of snow tires on this car. Because snow tires on IONIQ 5 make this thing a beast. Snow tires on any electric car are a huge help. And, you know, one of the things that wears out on these cars, of course, are the tires because they weigh so much and there's so much torque and we might drive a little fast sometimes. So the tires wear a little bit. You know, that's kind of how it works. So really buying a set of snow tires, not a bad idea because it's just going to make your regular tires last longer. And in the snow, it's going to make a huge difference. And really, folks, you know, it's about safety first. You know, it doesn't take much to change your life on the roads. You know, an accident, something weird happening, it doesn't take much. So why not stack the deck in your favor and put all of those things in a car? You know, cars have a lot of good safety features, but you can add some extra layer of safety by putting in snow tires on your electric car. And I don't work for snow tire companies. I'm not doing an advertisement, but I'm just telling you in general, if you can possibly get this done, get a set of snow tires, get another set of rims, have them flip it out at the car dealer for you or at your tire store, and it will pay off. So right now, this car is ready for my Sub-Zero adventure tomorrow. And so the next time I'll be talking to you will be Tuesday morning, my day off, but I'm going to get up early and let's see what this car does. It's evening right now. It's about 6 p.m. I've got the setup in the car working at 9 p.m. because I'm trying to avoid charging during peak. If the car is not charging now, it's going to wait until 9 p.m. Hey, this is Bob Flaherty, the electric principal. How you doing this morning? Hey, it's a balmy -10. The warm front started to move in last night, and it kept things from getting quite to 17 below. Either that or I just got lucky. I don't know. But 10 below is pretty cold. That's a cold day. And so, you know, I came out to the car this morning and it was warm. It was beautiful. It really was. The temperature was so hot, I actually had to turn the heat down. And I'm wearing a lighter jacket. I mean, it's 10 below, and I'm not going to wear a winter jacket driving around this car because, folks, it gets hot in this car. And more importantly, everything worked, right? I mean, I set that timer, I set the amount of energy I wanted, and boom, I am there. It works. And I got to tell you, some other electric cars I've owned don't do that. You know, they just, for whatever reason, there's a software glitch, there's something that goes wrong. It just doesn't happen. Let's go take a look at energy use here real quick. One of the nice things about this car is you can monitor your energy use. And if I go to the EV menu, you know, it's going to show me the standard stuff here. It's going to show me my battery percentage, which is 87. I've got 156 miles of range because the heat's on. You can see this little symbol here. It's telling me heat's on, so I get less range. With the heat off, I'd get 198 miles. That's one of the things I like about this car, is that it gives you that kind of information. The other thing I could do is if I touch this little 3 menu up here, in every menu you're on in this car, if you see something like that, go ahead and tap it. It's going to tell you what's going on. And I'm first going to go into energy information, and all that's going to do is let me set the parameters of charging, which I've now reset to 80%. But more importantly, if I go back up here, now I've got another sub-menu that lets me look at 2 really important things. One is electricity use, and you can see right now it's 68. You know, it's showing me the drivetrain isn't doing anything because I'm not going anywhere. But the climate's at 3.6 kilowatt usage. And if I crank this heat up, and I'm just going to do this just quickly here, I'm going to crank this up to 82 degrees. That's going to go to 7. I mean, it's actually 6.74, a little bit lower. But you get the idea that when you crank that up, your energy use just goes through the roof. And that's why there's so much range difference. So the moral of the story is, folks, you know, take it down to 67. Take that temperature down like I'm doing right now to 67. That energy use is going to drop. I realize that, you know, it's a little wonky here, the experiment, because I've got a thermostat kicking in and out in the car. So it's going to drop it way down. You're going to get a lot less energy use, and use your heated seat and steering wheel. That's what they're for. They'll keep you warm, and you don't need to crank the car up to 82 degrees if you got a heated steering wheel and a heated seat, particularly a heated seat. The steering wheel isn't quite as important, but that heated seat needs to be on, and that'll make all the difference in the world for you. So that's one of my little tips. The other thing I want to show you that we have here is EV economy, because we're talking cold weather, right? 10 below. EV history. You know, we could take a look at this today, and when it's been cold out, you can see the impact that has had on the range of my car. 116, I went 6 miles and got 1.7 kilowatts per mile. On the 15th, I did another 7 miles, 1.7 miles per kilowatt. Really low. I expect to have at least 3s, 3.5s here, but when it's cold, the car just isn't as efficient. And you're going to use more energy, and I like to be warm, and so I'm not going to turn it down to off. And you know, you say, well, Bob, I thought I had a heat pump. I thought that would make a difference. When it's 0 like this, like it's been the last 4 or 5 days, and you're in a deep freeze, a heat pump doesn't help much. That's going to help me out when it's 20 or 30 or 40. Really going to make a difference. But when it gets to sub-zero, I don't think they make much difference. This isn't much better than I got in my my ID4, which didn't have a heat pump. And not much better than my Tesla, to be honest. I mean, my Tesla wouldn't perform well at all in the cold when it was this low. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you about, you know, economy history and battery use. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a pleasure to make it because this car works. The other thing I want to let you know is if you like this channel, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm only 4 people, I think, away from 3,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this video and you haven't seen one before, hit that subscribe button. Do me a favor. I'd appreciate it. And I hope you have a good a good day. I think the country is going to start to get out of this deep freeze. By 1 o'clock today, it's going to be in the teens here, and so the cold weather is broken, and we'll be in the 30s and 40s every day for the next couple of weeks here in Fort Collins. So thanks again. We'll see you soon.